Hello everyone, from this video lecture we are going to discuss about the mode of transmission of diseases. And the mode of study of mode of transmission, the study of mode of transmission, the study of mode of transmission is called epidemiology. The study of mode of transmission is called epidemiology for the number of diseases. So epidemiology can be classified into two categories. Means the mode of transmission can be classified into two categories broadly. One is
क्लिप कर दे क्या पढ़ा नहीं हो पाएगा
direct, one is direct mode of transmission. So there are two categories of mode of transmission. Direct mode of transmission and the second one is the indirect mode of transmission. Direct and indirect mode of transmission. So how we can differentiate direct and indirect mode of transmission? So if there is no requirement of intermediate, no intermediate required between the diseased person and healthy person to transmit the diseases. डिजीज को ट्रांसमिट करने के लिए डिजीज पर्सन और इन्फेक्टेड पर्सन टू हेल्दी पर्सन अगर कोई इंटरमीडिएट नहीं एक्ट कर रहा है मीन्स द पैथोजन डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द डिजीज पर्सन ट्रांसफर टू अ हेल्दी पर्सन so that will be considered as direct mode of transmission. उसको हम बोलेंगे direct mode of transmission. And if an intermediate is required, an intermediate is required between the diseased person and healthy person to transmit the diseases. डिजीज को ट्रांसमिट करने के लिए डिजीज पर्सन टू हेल्दी पर्सन अगर इंटरमीडिएट रिक्वायर होता है so in that case the mode of transmission will be called as indirect mode of transmission. So in direct mode of transmission there are a number of way we can study that the transmission of disease take place without an intermediate. So let us discuss some example of direct mode of transmission. So direct mode of transmission involve following such as through body contact, through direct body contact. Some diseases are directly transferred from diseased person to healthy person during their body contact. Body contact के दौरान जो है ये diseases transmit होते हैं. For example, chickenpox. Chickenpox is a disease which is transmitted from diseased person to healthy person थ्रू बॉडी कॉन्टैक्ट, स्किन कॉन्टैक्ट, स्किन के कॉन्टैक्ट से ये जो है ट्रांसमिट होते हैं. द नेक्स्ट इज थ्रू Soil. Exposure to soil is also responsible for a number of diseases to transfer in the body of human being, healthy human being. For example, tetanus. Next is through animal bite. Animal bite. So animal bite means rabid animal. The animal should be rabid. So if a healthy person bites with a rabid animal, then the disease can transfer directly from the rabid animal into the healthy body. And here we can take the example of rabies. Then the other example or the other way of direct mode of transmission involved through placenta. Through placenta. So a number of diseases can transfer from mother's body to the fetus body take place through placenta. For example, AIDS. So these are the direct mode of transmission of disease. Now the next about the indirect mode of transmission. So indirect mode of transmission take place with an intermediate. Intermediate के help से ही जो है ये indirect mode of transmission होगा. So let us discuss about the number of ways through which indirect mode of transmission can take place of a number of communicable diseases. So first way we can explain the indirect mode of transmission through vector. And the vector are the animals or living organism that only allow the pathogens to live and multiply in their body, not get affected by the disease by that pathogens. उस पैथोजन से जो है वेक्टर की बॉडी डिजीज्ड नहीं होती है, बट केवल जो है पैथोजेंस को ये अलाउ करते हैं टू लीव एंड मल्टीप्लाई इन नंबर्स. अपने नंबर्स को मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते हैं पैथोजेंस के बॉडी में रह करके, बट उस बॉडी में डिजीज कॉज नहीं करते हैं. सो वेक्टर कैन एक्ट एज इंटरमीडिएट फॉर अ नंबर ऑफ डिजीजेस, and here we can take the example of malaria. Malaria is a very common example of vector-borne disease. So the diseases transmitted through vector, they are called vector-borne disease. ऐसे disease को हम vector-borne disease कहते हैं. इसमें आपका मलेरिया एक बहुत ही फेमस एंड कॉमन एग्जाम्पल है फॉर vector-borne diseases. And here the main vector for malaria, it is the female Anopheles mosquito, which carry the parasite of malaria or pathogen of malaria, which is the plasmodium. Plasmodium is the pathogen of malaria, and these plasmodium also remain in the body of mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito. When the female Anopheles mosquito suck the blood from the patient of malaria, these plasmodium get inside the body of mosquito, and inside the body of mosquito they becomes multiply and get converted into the infective stage of the plasmodium. Plasmodium का infective stage होता है स्पोरोजोइड्स, जो कि आप हायर क्लास में उसके लाइफ साइकिल को जब स्टडी करेंगे तो वहाँ पे आपको क्लियर होगा. नेक्स्ट इज थ्रू एयर. सो द डिजीजेस कैन आल्सो ट्रांसमिट थ्रू एयर. because the pathogen may released from the body of patient during the coughing, sneezing as well as spitting or talking. These pathogens in the form of droplets get mixed in the air and the air becomes get contaminated, and if that contaminated air along with the droplets of pathogen inhaled by a healthy person, so the healthy person may also get that particular disease. तो उस केस में healthy person भी उस disease को acquire कर सकता है. So the diseases which are transmitted through air by droplet infection, these diseases are known as airborne disease. ऐसे disease को हम बोलते हैं airborne disease. And the example for the airborne diseases are like common cold, tuberculosis. These are the diseases who transmit through droplet infection. Droplet infection के through जो है ये transmit होते हैं. And the droplets are mixed in the air during the symptoms of sneezing and coughing. Mostly during sneezing and coughing, the patient gets release the pathogen in the form of droplets. The next is through contaminated food and water. The contaminated food and water means the food and water which is get contaminated or get dirty with the fecal matter of the patient or for a number of diseases. बहुत सारे disease में ऐसा होता है in which the fecal matter get mixed with the food and water by many agencies like through insect such as housefly. Housefly जो होती है वह dirty place पे जो है बैठती है like fecal matter पे, and then from the fecal matter it also get sit over the food material. open food material जो भी होते हैं open place पे रखे रहते हैं, वहाँ पे जो है मक्खियाँ बैठती है. तो ये मक्खियाँ उससे पहले किसी डर्टी प्लेस पे बैठी रहती है. तो फ्रॉम डर्टी प्लेस मीन्स द फीकल मैटर दे receive the pathogens and get mixed in the food and water. So that food and water will be contaminated food and water. तो ऐसे food and water को हम contaminated food and water बोलेंगे. And the contaminated food and water will act as the intermediate. So there will be indirect mode of transmission. A number of diseases are also transmitted through contaminated food and water, which is an indirect mode of transmission. For example, typhoid, cholera, polio. These are the diseases whose pathogens from the diseased person get mixed into the food and water through different kind of agencies. The next is through fomites. So let us discuss about the fomites. What is fomites? So fomites are the non-living substance. Fomites means the non-living component, non-living substance. So what kind of non-living substances? The non-living substances which are used by the peoples during their life, daily life. Daily life में जो भी non-living substances peoples के द्वारा यूज किया जाता है. For example, the stock. If the stock will be used by multiple peoples, so if one of the peoples get infected with a disease, so in that situation the pathogen may stick to the chalk from the diseased person, and if that chalk will be used by another person which is healthy, so in that situation the person may get the disease. So a number of non-living substances used by the people like hanky, the towel and other cloth substances along with the handle or door. So many kinds of substances are used by multiple peoples during their daily life. तो ऐसे सिचुएशन में if one of the person who use that substance multiple times getting infected with a disease, so in that situation the other person which are healthy person may also get transmit that disease through that non-living substances. and that non-living substances are known as fomites. So through fomites, number of diseases can also be transmitted. We can take example of ringworm. Ringworm is a common example which can transmit through fomites, जो fomites के through transmit हो सकता है. So this is all about the mode of transmission of diseases, and the study of mode of transmission of diseases we have discussed as epidemiology. So here we have discussed about the epidemiology, all about the epidemiology, direct as well as indirect mode of transmission. So the next topic after the mode of transmission from this chapter, why do we fall ill, we are going to discuss it is the incubation period. So what is incubation period? So incubation period is a time period between the entry of the body. So incubation period is a topic. It is only related to communicable disease. ये जो है ऐसा टॉपिक है जो केवल communicable disease से related होता है. So in the case of communicable disease, mostly the communicable disease are caused by pathogen. ये जो communicable disease होते हैं ये pathogen से cause होते हैं. So pathogen first need to enter in the body of a person. So entry of pathogen, between the entry of pathogen and the first symptom appear, the time lag or time period, it is known as the incubation period. उसी time period को हम बोलते हैं incubation period, and it is only for communicable disease. ये जो है communicable disease के लिए होता है. The next thing, after incubation period we have to study it is the manifestation of diseases. How disease can be identified? कौन से तरह का डिजीज है, इसको पता कैसे हम लगाते हैं. So how the manifestation of disease take place? So manifestation or identification of disease, manifestation or identification, both are the same. Identification of disease can take place with the help of two factors. The first is symptom, the second is sign. Symptom and sign of the disease can help the doctor or physician to manifest the disease, which kind of disease is present in the पेशेंट बॉडी. पेशेंट के बॉडी में कौन सी तरह का डिजीज है, इसको पता लगाने के लिए इसके मैनिफेस्टेशन के लिए दो फैक्टर जरूरी होता है, एंड दीज आर सिम्टम एज वेल एज साइन. सिम्टम एंड साइन, these are the two factors. So let us discuss what is symptom and what is sign. These two words or two topics are different from each other. ये एक दूसरे से कैसे different है इसके बारे में भी हम जानेंगे. So first of all we need to know about the symptoms. So as the definition of disease we have discussed that the disease is the physical or functional change of body from the normal state. नॉर्मल स्टेट से जो फिजिकल और फंक्शनल चेंज होता है बॉडी में, विच मेक द डिस्कम्फर्ट, विच मेक बॉडी टू फील डिस्कम्फर्ट. So what are the things which make the body discomfortable, or what are the things which are responsible for impairing the body and body organs? So these are the a number of changes. बॉडी में कुछ नंबर ऑफ चेंजेस जो होते हैं, फिजिकल एंड फंक्शनल चेंज. So the physical and functional change, undesirable, physical and functional undesirable change. changes in body. These physical and functional changes in body which make us to feel uncomfortable, which make us to feel uncomfortable are called symptoms. These physical and functional changes are known as the symptom of a disease. किसी भी disease का symptom कहलाता है. And symptom, on the basis of symptoms we can find out a clue for a disease. But symptoms may be common for a number of disease. Symptoms may be common. सिम्टम जो है बहुत सारे डिजीज के लिए कॉमन हो सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल फीवर. फीवर इज अ सिम्टम फॉर अ नंबर ऑफ इन्फेक्शियस डिजीजेस. बहुत सारे इन्फेक्शियस डिजीज के लिए यह एक कॉमन सिम्टम होता है फीवर. ऐसे ही हेडेक along with headache, abdominal pain, sneezing, coughing, etc. These are a number of symptoms of the diseases. ये सभी जो है डिजीज के क्या है सिम्टम्स है. अब इनमें सिम्टम्स जो होते हैं, जो भी आपको यहाँ पे सिम्टम्स दिख रहा है, फीवर, हेडेक, एब्डोमिनल पेन, स्नीजिंग, कॉफिंग, दे कैन बी responsible for a number of disease. Means they are common for a number of disease. जैसे coughing की अगर एग्जाम्पल ले, so coughing is appear in common cold as well as the tuberculosis. In both the diseases coughing is common. coughing जो है दोनों में common होता है. So symptoms may be common for a number of disease. Now the next is sign. So sign is a clue or signal which is created by doctor and physician. The clue or signal obtained by doctor or and physician. The doctor and physician obtain a clue or signal for a disease, for a particular disease. Obtained by doctor and physician for a particular disease. And these clue or signal, it is obtained with the help of, किसके हेल्प से ये ऑब्टेन होता है? सो इट इज ऑब्टेन बाय symptoms and diagnostic tests. A number of diagnostic tests which have done or performed by the clinical peoples or the peoples of hospital or pathologist, we can say that pathologist, pathologists do a number of diagnostic tests. Diagnostic tests involve blood test, urine test, along with sonography, X-ray. So these are a number of diagnostic tests. So along with the diagnostic test, the symptoms and the diagnostic test. With the help of these two things, the doctor and physician obtain a clue or signal for a particular disease, and that signal or clue it is known as the sign of the disease. उसी को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Sign of disease. And sign of disease is specific for a specific disease. किसी भी disease के लिए जो है ये specific होता है. Specific. The sign of disease is specific for specific disease. Means it is not common for all kinds of disease or many kinds of disease. बहुत सारे disease के लिए common नहीं होता है. Specific disease के लिए specific clue और signal create किया जाता है डॉक्टर एंड फिजिशियन के द्वारा. And that specific clue or signal it is known as the sign of the disease. So sign and symptom, these are the two factors which are helpful for manifestation of disease, and after manifestation of disease the doctor and physician can do the treatment of that particular disease. Disease का जो treatment होता है वो आफ्टर मैनिफेस्टेशन ही सक्सेसफुल होता है. मीन्स बिफोर विदाउट मैनिफेस्टेशन डिजीज कैन नॉट बी ट्रीटेड वेल. बहुत अच्छे तरीके से डिजीज को ट्रीट नहीं किया जा सकता है बिना मैनिफेस्टेशन के. बिना पहचान के डिजीज को ट्रीट करना ये पॉसिबल नहीं होता, या इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट और मे बी वेरी हार्मफुल फॉर द पेशेंट without manifestation. So this is all about the incubation period, manifestation of the disease along with the mode of transmission which we have discussed earlier in this video lecture. So this is all about the topics for the why do we fall ill chapter, why do we fall ill.